Martin Bakole wants a rematch against Joseph Parker. Bakole does not want to run it back with Efe Ajagba. He would prefer to go back in there with Joseph Parker. This is what Mr. Bakole said on his recent interview on Seconds Out. Shout out to Radio Raheem, man. He always seems to get all the exclusives, man. Do you know what I mean? Some of the best interviews are on Seconds Out. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to Radio Raheem. Respect. Big boy in the game. Big boy in the game. But listen, let's talk Martin Bakole, man. Do you know what I mean? He was talking after his fight. Obviously, you already know Saturday night under the Canelo versus William Scow main card in Riyadh. Bakole, he fought against Ajagba. It was a majority draw. For me personally, I thought Ajagba did enough to nick the win, but the judges saw something else. So it was a majority draw. Fair enough. Let's move on. Both fighters did say, look, we want a rematch. We want to run it back. Efe Ajagba said he wants to run it back. And at the time, Martin Bakole said, yo, let's run it back as well. So I'm a bit surprised now that he's done an interview on Seconds Out. He's saying that a Parker fight, that's what he wants. Do you know what I mean? But I'm going to say something to Martin Bakole from a Congolese brother to Congolese brother. Like the Joseph Parker fight, you're not going to get it. Well, not now anyway. Do you know what I mean? There's a long road back for you to get back to a place where you can fight the likes of Parker, Kabayao, Zhang, Joshua, Fury, all these guys, Usyk, Daniel Dubois, you name them. They're top guys. Like Martin Bakole, you're not going to be getting those fights because you're not professional enough. Do you know what I mean? You're not professional enough. Now, I gave Martin Bakole a pass for his first fight against Joseph Parker because, listen, the guy had 48 hours to get to Riyadh from Kinshasa. Turkey Al-Sheikh didn't even have the decency to send him a private jet. The guy had to fly commercial. He was jet lagged by the time he got to Riyadh. Then he had to do a press conference, do warm-ups, do all sorts of madness. That's even before he did a ring walk, which is another hard thing for him. Do you know what I mean? So it was no surprise when he got knocked the F out by Joseph Parker, because Joseph Parker is an elite fighter. You're not going to put someone in there who's had no training camp, is not conditioned, is out of shape, he's been eating all sorts, and just chuck him in there in a lion's den against Joseph Parker. Of course he's going to get knocked out. But I gave Martin Bakole a pass for that. But what I won't give him a pass for was how he turned up for the fight against Efe Ajagba, because it don't make no sense. I said in my post-fight analysis that Martin Bakole could not cover the ring. Do you know what I mean? The distance in a ring, because he was, again, overweight. He was too heavy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm glad that his coach, Billy Nelson, also acknowledged this. He said that Martin Bakole was just too heavy to cover the distance in a ring. And Bakole himself, if you go watch the interview on Seconds Out, he's acknowledged it too. He said that he was too heavy. He couldn't cover the distance. Ajagba had way too much movement for him. Do you know what I mean? But what I don't like here is when Martin Bakole is saying that, oh, Ajagba was meant to stand there and trade with him and have a war. Why was Ajagba moving so much? Mate, you cannot dictate how another fighter is going to fight the fight. Like, you can't do that, Martin. Do you know what I mean? Ajagba was moving around because he's well conditioned. He's in great shape. He looked after his body. You didn't. Maybe if you was well conditioned, you was dieting properly, you had a nutritionist, and you cut your weight in a healthy way, maybe you would have been in a position to cover the distance in a ring and actually get your shots off. Do you know what I mean? So Martin Bakole, your biggest enemy is yourself. Your biggest enemy is yourself. Do you know what I mean? Because you didn't learn your lessons when you fought Parker. You didn't learn your lessons. Do you know what I mean? You had enough time from February to cut down a bit more weight so that you can arrive in this fight against Efe Ajagba healthy, in great condition, great cardio, great fitness to get the job done. Martin Bakole, I said it. And I said this in my post-fight analysis. Martin Bakole's best weight, where he performs at his absolute best, at his peak, is between 280 285 pounds. That's when you're going to get a real Martin Bakole. That's the Martin Bakole that fought against Gerard Baby Anderson. If you get that Bakole, he can cover the distance in the ring, he can get into range much quicker, and he can let his shots off. That's when Martin Bakole is more effective. But Martin Bakole is at 310, Martin Bakole at 300, 299, 295, too big. He's too heavy. It's just never going to work for him. Do you know what I mean? That's why I recommended to Martin Bakole, get a nutritionist. Get someone who can look after your diet, mate. Get someone who can create a meal plan for you. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you will follow that meal plan. You will follow a structure. So therefore, you're always going to be in shape. Even if you put a little bit of weight on, you can quickly get rid of it because you're not eating nonsense. You're eating what your nutritionist has recommended for you to eat, which is going to be healthy for your career. That's what I said to Martin Bakole. Do you know what I mean? But listen to the interview. That's when I even understood further that Martin Bakole does not have a nutritionist. He doesn't understand how weight loss, weight gain works. Because in the interview, and you can go watch it on Seconds Out, shout out Radio Rahim once again. In the interview, Martin Bakole said he lost 12 kilograms. He lost 12 kgs. No, you did not lose 12 kgs because for the Parker fight, you weighed in 310 pounds. Yeah, 310 pounds is 140 kgs. Yeah. And then for the Efe Ajagba fight, you weighed in at 299 pounds. Yeah, which is around about 135 and a half kgs. So in all, from the Parker to the Ajagba fight, you only lost roughly, 5 kgs, my friend. You did not lose 12 kgs, 12 kilograms, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. You did not lose 12. Do you know what I mean? That's why it was confused. But you know what? I'm going to give Martin Bakole a pass because English is not his first language. Do you know what I mean? The English is not my first language, but I came to Europe when I was young, so I've been speaking English my whole life, basically. Martin Bakole, English is not his first language. Probably doesn't understand the difference between pounds and kilograms, etc., etc. So he probably meant I lost 12 pounds, innit? Do you know what I mean? But he really lost only 12. He only lost 11 pounds, and in total, in kgs, he lost 5 kgs. That's what he lost. Do you know what I mean? He needed to lose more. He needed to lose around about 15 kgs, mate. I think 10, 15 kgs. That's how much you have to lose, mate. Do you know what I mean? To be a peak condition. Martin Bakole, you need to be a 280, 285. Do you know what I mean? So you can forget the Joseph Parker fight because Joseph Parker is the mandatory for the WBO. Joseph Parker, at this moment of time, he's got bigger fish to fry. He's looking at world titles. He's looking at undisputed. There's no way he's even going to look in the direction of Martin Bakole. Respectfully, Martin Bakole is not that guy. Do you know what I mean? Martin Bakole has the potential to be that guy if he takes his craft more seriously. And that begins with your weight, your conditioning, your fitness. Do you know what I mean? Forget ability. Forget ability. A lot of boxers have ability. Martin Bakole has ability. But if you're not fit, you're always going to get found out in a ring. And we saw that on Saturday night. He couldn't cover the distance, too heavy, so he wasn't effective. Do you know what I mean? So I just hope that Martin Bakole at this stage, he's what? 30, 29, 30 years old? I really hope he's learned. Do you know what I mean? I really hope he's learned and he takes his career very seriously from now on. Because listen, Martin Bakole, whether you like it or not, you're a big name now. You are a big name in boxing. Yeah, you're not a superstar. You're not a big pay-per-view seller, whatever, ticker seller in Europe or America, whatever. But you are a big name now. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people, if you say Martin Bakole, people in boxing, at least the hardcore fans, we know who Martin Bakole are. The casuals might not, but the hardcore fans, we know who Martin Bakole are. So Martin Bakole, you have to take your craft very, very seriously. Do you know what I mean? Get a nutritionist because those Congolese meals, the Congolese food Trust me when I say this, I know because I'm Congolese and I eat Congolese food and I love it. It contains a lot of sugars, a lot of salt, a lot of oil, all the things that are bad for a boxer, especially when you're preparing for a fight. If you're in camp, if you're not in camp, if you're not fighting, eat all of it. Stuff it down your mouth is your business. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, even if you're not in camp, this is for Martin Bakole. Even when you're not in camp, you still have to look after your body. Do you know what I mean? You still always have to be prepared. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they always say, be prepared, stay prepared so you don't have to prepare. Do you know what I mean? Be prepared so you don't have to be prepared. You see the likes of Mayweather, so many other boxers. Do you know what I mean? They look after their bodies. They treat their bodies like temples. Do you know what I mean? That's what Martin Bakole needs to do because ability-wise, he's got it. It's just the problem with his weight, conditioning, dieting. It's absolutely poor. Do you know what I mean? And there'll come a time where you're gonna start getting beat by guys that are ranked like 20th, 25, if you're not conditioned. Do you know what I mean? But if you really want to go all the way back to the top, mate, sort out your condition. Get a nutritionist, like I just said, and you'll be fine. Do you know what I mean? Then you can perform to the best of your abilities. Like I said, Martin Bakole, he needs to be around the 280, 285 to perform at his absolute best. That's when he can cover the distance. Do you know what I mean? And I also believe that he needs to get the rematch. He needs to sort the rematch with Efe Ajagba. They need to run that back. Do you know what I mean? They need to run that back. Martin Bakole, you can't blame Efe Ajagba for moving around the ring. He's not stupid to stand there and trade with you. Why would he play into your games? Like, why would he do that? That's dumb. Like, that's your game plan. Your game plan was for him to stand there and trade. Why would he do that? When he can just move around, pop the jab, throw the right hand once in a while, and he's beating you from distance anyway. Do you know what I mean? You can't get close enough, so he's beating you. He was winning the fight comfortably until his legs slow down a bit. So Martin Bakole is all on you, innit? Your destiny, your future, your career in boxing, yeah, is just a matter of you taking it seriously. You have to be more professional if you want to get to that promised land, if you want to win a world title, if you even want to get a title fight, because these days to even get a title fight is even hard. So if you want to get in that position, which many fighters are trying to get to, or they are there already, they're waiting for their turn, you need to work way harder than you are right now. And I hope Billy Nelson really drills it into him, yeah, to take his career seriously. Do you know what I mean? And listen, like I said in my post-fight analysis as well, Martin Bakole, listen, if you don't know a nutritionist, if you need someone, holler at me, man. Shout at me, and I will point you in the right direction. I'll connect you with people that can look after your diet. Trust me, and they'll get you in top peak condition. Do you know what I mean? You perform the best ever, better than the Jared Baby Anderson fight. Trust me. So shout me if you don't have a nutritionist, man. And we're going to get you to the top. Because ability-wise, you got it, man. You know what I mean? But listen, guys, girls, I'm going to leave it at that, man. Let me know what you think about Martin Bakole calling out Joseph Parker rather than going straight back in a rematch against Efe Ajagba and correcting his wrong, correcting his mistakes, getting the job done. Go out there and knock out Efe Ajagba. Guys and girls, let me know in the comments what you think of this whole situation. And even if he rematches Parker, do you see Bakole winning? I feel like Martin Bakole is still not disciplined. I can see Joseph Parker doing the same thing again, man. That's just my opinion. But guys and girls, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. I'm your boy Enzo. Please don't forget to smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because that's the only way you're going to help us to grow. I'll be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace.